Hello everyone. Phoenix61 here with the new Blue Archive French cruiser. I'm not going to try and say this name. I'm not even going to try. So we opened a bunch of crates on live stream. I think like last week sometime we got a decent chunk of new Blue Archive stuff, granted, right? So I don't know. I was in a mood, so now everybody's harassing me for complaining about what I got. I didn't get the ship that I wanted, you guys. But anyway, so but yeah, like part of it was like I did not want this ship, and so yeah, it's because I hate this. The regular tech tree, right? It's not that much different than the regular tech tree of these ships, these French cruisers, right? The alternate line, the heavy cruisers, whatever you want to call these guys, right? Now, granted, it does have its one shtick, which is this right here, which is you can wreck other cruisers, right? Like, it's really good, but the problem is like, the reload's still kind of slow. They've buffed the reload in comparison to the Brest, right? Which is going to be, you know, the regular tech line of ships that you can grind without spending money. Yeah, but you see we get nice good chunk of damage there, right? So 30, almost 28,000 damage is probably most of that Voyager's health, and I think somebody hits him with a torpedo or something and finishes him off, right? Like, so he's gone and done. The problem is here, there's only that one cruiser in this match, and so now I'm, you know, going up against battleships, right? So it does have a thing, right? I would say twofold for this ship, and this tech line too, if you're just playing through the regular French, you know, heavy cruiser line, right? You got these big guns up front, and that's it. But they are fast, and you get the engine boosts. And the AP is great if you've got the nice broadside shots on cruisers. But other than that, like, we're going to go through a little bit of a struggle bus. Now, this game is a decent one to just show that damage doing potential. This ends up being a little bit of a stomp here. And we get a huge advantage here. We've got a destroyer that on my team, on my flank here. Right, we almost got left alone over here. But the destroyer on my team is keeping his distance and not getting spotted, and he's keeping this Missouri here spotted for us, right? So we literally could just put this island between us and this Missouri so he doesn't have line of sight on us, and just damage farm him, right? There's nothing he can do about us. No, there's nobody over here to see him to help out with us. My team on the other flank has already capped D, right? Delta's already ours, and I think both destroyers end up being over there. So I don't know what their destroyers were doing on the red team here. Maybe we must be on the red team, right? I guess I don't know, but anyway. So yeah, we're able to just sit here and do nice, reasonable chunks of damage against this Missouri, right? So we'll just take advantage of the situation and use it, right? Yeah, Citadel hit there, right? Like, that was a great hit, right? But it's just you need that perfect distance and that perfect angle. Otherwise, it's just like there's a lot of underwhelming salvos, and this is kind of how I feel about the regular tech line as well, right? So that's why I was like, nah, I was like a little bit disappointed when I got the ship. But I'm absolutely going to play it and try it out and see how it goes, because I've absolutely been wrong before, right? So I'm not going to not play it, right? We also got the Blue Archive Montana, right? We got the BA version of the Montana, which I wasn't too excited about either, but I definitely agree. Like, so we did a video on that last week as well. It definitely is a little bit better than the regular Montana, like, at least in my opinion. And the Hoshino Commander that kind of is meant to be paired with it really does, like, kind of bring out the strong suits of that ship too. So you know, so I'm happy to get that one, but I would trade this ship in and the BI Montana for the hovercraft, just because I was interested in trying the hovercraft. But honestly, like, I don't know, that ship could be bad, or I might not like it, right? Like, half of this is opinion and playstyle preference anyway, but, like, I dislike these French heavy cruisers, right? Like, I think I've had some fun with a couple of them when there's been, like, some, like, modified game mechanics in, like, Brawl. Like, they've worked really good in some of those situations, but regular gameplay, right? I think the trick to it is a little bit different style. You want to go out on the flank, right? You want to use the ship's speed to go out on a flank like we're doing here, and just be trouble, right? Like, just be a problem for the other team. And then, yeah, look for those broadside ships, right? Those especially cruisers. That's where you're going to get the biggest hits. That's where you're going to get the most satisfaction out of playing this ship. Now, hindsight's 2020 here. I kept hanging back and just taking advantage of the fact that I could stay behind this island and nobody's got me spotted. But we've got a 3-ship lead, 3 zones to their 1 now at this point. I could have started pushing up. Like, you can get away with a decent amount of bow tanking with this thing as well, almost as if you're, you know, like one of the French battleships, right? Like, you can kind of take advantage of some decent armor up front and some good armor on the turrets, right? But yeah, so Atlantico gets us spotted here because he comes around the corner, so we'll change direction and fire at him. We got a nice broadside shot here as well. Right, but he's coming deep into, you know, our territory, so he's absolutely getting picked on. We've got some ships low on health out here, right, but on my team, but nobody's dead yet, so it ends up being a little bit of a stomp. So that's where I was like, I probably could have looked at the ship count on the board and started pushing up way sooner here than I do. So I start pushing up now. We'll trip the engine boost, right? We've hardly used any consumables, and the game's, you know, time-wise is only halfway over, but let's be honest, it's more than halfway over at this point, right? We're going to cheese the kill on the Lexington here. Somebody did all the work, and we'll get the last tiny little bit there, so take that. This Iowa's at full health, right? Somebody's hitting him already, but yeah, we'll get up as close so we can as to these guys as we can, and just kind of see what the guns can do on this Iowa too. But this is kind of more, this has been more my experience, these sort of, right, he's getting hit with torpedoes, right, we haven't hit him at all yet. That's kind of what my experience has been with salvos, right? So, I don't know if you need that, you know, you need a sweet spot for range and a sweet spot for angle, maybe he's a little far out, right? But that's kind of been my experience, right? And we'll go through the build. I have another game queued up here as well that ends up being a little bit more competitive. But yeah, like, so that was just my thing. Like the ship's good. I definitely would not buy it outright. I almost never advocate for just buying, oh, that ship's could pay, you know, whatever this would be, like 20,000 doubloons or something, right? I would never do that. There's plenty of ships in this game that are free that you can do well with too, right? But if you get it out of crate, great, good for you. Like, try it out, you know, like we're doing here. But yeah, it was definitely one that I could have been absolutely satisfied with not getting, just because that's me, right? Just because I don't like this ship type, right? But there is a little bit, you got to play it a little bit different. It works really good. You utilize that speed to get out on the flanks, and that seems to be where I have the most success with these cruisers, right? With the regular tech line as well, same thing there. You don't get a reload booster with this as like you do with the regular tech line. And so where they've balanced, yeah, so that game's done with based on points there. But where they've balanced that is, right, is they've made the reload time a little bit better, right? The reload, like the base reload's a little bit shorter. So we get second place on the board there. Right, so we'll go and do another game, right? And I'm doing the same thing. I jumped ahead a couple of minutes again here, just before we get into the action. But I'm going out wide, right? Like it seems to be kind of the way to go, at least what's worked for me with this ship, right? You do you. But yeah, going out on flanks and trying to surprise people and just be a problem and get the broadside shots from angles that people don't expect you to be way out there that quickly, especially. But you still got it. You're still a cruiser, right? Like you still can, if you're broadside, we're unspotted right now, so I don't have to worry about it, right? They're not going to shoot me. But you got to watch your broadsides. You got to watch your angles. You're still a cruiser. Keep that in mind, right? Yeah, if you're nice and broadside, you're going to go down quick, right? So I'm going to take a shot at him just as we duck behind the island here. And that's also going to solidify that we know there's probably not a destroyer in B over here on the enemy team, since we still didn't get spotted. So we get away with it again here by just no one having line of sight on us. I'm guessing their destroyer's over in the Charlie cap, since they've got that capped most of the way now already. And then we got just the right angle to fire over these islands here without getting spotted too. So we'll take those few hits. And we're going to use a little bit of patience here. We did see some torpedoes come through off to our left there, right in front of us. Probably a Wami. Awami's got those long-range torpedoes. I'm going to let my battleship go up first. Right, we'll just see if we can get some hits here, just because somebody's got him spotted here. Probably our destroyer that's in Bravo. Right, so we'll just keep taking advantage of the fact that we're not spotted yet. It's going to take a little bit more effort to win this game than the last one, so hang in there. Yeah, another battleship out in front, right? I think it's like a German battleship, right? So he's going to be able to take some hits quite a bit better than I would be able to, right? And then, yeah, I'm running refill station on here right now, just because I liked having the extra reload. You could definitely make a good argument for fully packed on the commander to get an extra heal for sure. The AA, I don't care about, right? I wish you had a different option there, but it forces you to use the anti-air consumable there for that slot. So I think your choices are... You get choices for where the heal and the engine boost is. I think one of them might be sonar, so you could swap... I think it's probably the engine boost. You could swap out the engine boost for the sonar. I'm not sure which one it was. But anyway, we'll take a peek at all this stuff right when we get after this game, and we'll take a peek at the board for this one too. But thus far, we've remained undetected. This FTG is going to pick us up, obviously, if we fire at him again here. But there's not much left on my side of the map here anymore. So what we're going to do, we're going to help finish this guy off, and then I think this Owami ends up this other red ship battleship over here. Yeah, this Owami. This guy, I think he ends up just kiting away, right? And so what you kind of want to do, we're going to pay attention to the mini-map and look at my team on the other side, because they start to crumble a little bit over there. And so we'll start heading in that direction once we kind of know things are safe and secure over here, right? But I think this Owami ends up going just so far out that I just decide to let him go. I'm like, you're taking yourself out of play, just leave him go. Yeah, the FDG's hitting us with secondaries and triggering fires here. If we go undetected, I'll put it out. Yeah. I'm thinking we're going to go unspotted here. Yep, so we do. So that's why I use damage con. Still stop the fire. Will stop coming in as long as we don't get these last lingering bullets flying in the air. As long as one of those don't trip a fire, we're good. We'll push up. If the battleship doesn't finish him off, yep, which, yeah, Marco Polo got him. I was going to say, we might, excuse me, we might be able to, but, yeah. He's done. So we were down 2 ships. They've only lost that 1, and it took us quite a bit of time to get rid of him, right? So that's kind of where this you know, our inefficiency on this, I guess. We've got 44,000 damage up on the board, but it just still felt like underwhelming, you know, damage numbers for like how much we shot, you know. So we're undetected, so I'm going to take advantage of that, right? And this is what I was saying. This Owami's just going to keep kiting away. So I was kind of waiting to see if he would shoot at our battleship first. And he does, so then now I'll take my shot. Right, because he's going to see a broadside cruiser, and he's going to switch targets, right? He's going to switch to us. We get a decent chunk there. So we'll just keep the status quo here, right? So I'm already like, we need to start heading towards the Charlie cap to help out with that side. We've got, you know, it doesn't take 3 of us, you know, to chase down one kiting away ship. In fact, I usually advise against it, right? But like, we do have the advantage here. We don't need the zones. We've got the zones, so technically they should be pushing up on us, but he's playing it safe, right? Like, and that's kind of what I would do as well. Like, if I'm outnumbered on a flank, I'm going to kite away, try and angle, try and just get as much damage to the enemies as I can and suck up as much of their time as I can, right? So, but yeah, as he starts getting out of our range here, I'm not going to chase him down, right? I'll let my teammates, if they want to go chase him down, they can, but it's a little bit of a time suck in my opinion. I would just let him go, kite away from him, and let him, you know, play sailing simulator as he has to sail back into the fight. But as you can see now, we're down another ship, right? So they still have a ship advantage on us. And then they are capping the Charlie cap zone as well. So I'm going to start pushing up on that. Right, and we've got, you know, speed is one of the tools of the ship, right? So we're going to use it. We're going to get back into that fight as soon as we can. And as suspected, my teammates managed to finish off the Awami, so now they're headed this direction as well. Somebody evened out the ship count for us. And Minotaur here. And a Wisconsin there. I think it's a Shimakaze, the destroyer, that's left too. So we'll take the shot at the Minotaur. I know the Shimakaze just popped up as well, but it's tough to... I'm always like, when you see a destroyer, shoot a destroyer, but also like broadside Minotaur, man. Like, so there's a little bit more what I was talking about, right? Like, you can, you know, nice broadside cruisers. You're gonna get big heavy hits against them. You just need that situation to be there, right? Another decent hit, but 5 over pens. He's angled, so kind of suspected that. Shimakaze is going to come around the corner. I'm going to shoot at him. Shoot at him while he's still spotted, right? Could potentially go undetected and never be spotted the rest of the game, right? So I'm going to take the shots when I got him. Minotaur wasn't broadside to us anymore, but he got finished off by somebody else. And I know that Shimakaze is still out there, right? So I switched to HE, and I'm like, I'm going to keep pushing up in that direction. We got the engine boost going. I'm going to see if I can catch this guy off guard wherever he is. Because that'll be big for us just to get rid of the destroyer. So he's still in the zone. Somebody's picking him up. Radar or air or something. So there he is. And he's pointed right at us. I'm trying to decide what he's trying to decide to do. But we're closing the gap here, so we should be able to... Right, if he goes undetected, we should be able to keep him spot. We should be able to come up on him and pick him up, right? And somebody else finished him off. So all my efforts were wasted there, but that's fine. He's dead. That's what we need. We got torpedoes. So this is a Takahashi, and I just was not paying close enough attention to who was on the board here. Still. He hadn't been spotted for a while, but he, yeah, those Takahashi torpedoes sure do hurt. We've got nice broadside cruiser with the AP. And we get 2 over pens. Right. Somebody else whapped him good there, but like this was just like, I'm like, yes, payback for those torpedoes. And then yeah, like I don't know, maybe I aimed too low. A lot of times I aim too high, and people criticize me for aiming too high, and then I'm like, all right, well I'll aim where I'm supposed to aim, and then half my shells hit the water, and I'm like, that's why I always aim high. But we'll come around the corner, right? We know he's got lots of torpedoes, 2 racks on each side, so I did not want to go into that same death alley that he had there. We'll see if we can get a little bit better of a hit on him here. I aimed high just because he was starting to turn out, right? And we get 4 more over pens and a bounce, right? So, yeah, that's just... it's you need the right situation, and you need RNG to be on your side, I guess. And then, yep, he's probably sending more torpedoes already. So I'm going to maneuver, see if we can... I don't care if he sets me on fire, right? He's going to shoot HE at us. We'll damage con the fire. And I'm just going to keep moving this direction in case he sent torpedoes this way. Stalingrad here, we do have 1 more heal left here, so we'll use that. They are pretty good, so I think you could make a good argument for running fully packed here. I wanted the reload, right? Yeah, so that's what I did. And then, yeah, you can bow tank pretty good with this, like I was saying before, right? So I'm trying to get the zone cap here, so we go undetected, so I stopped firing the guns. And then he goes unspotted because I don't think he had anybody to shoot at. Right, so we'll push up on him. There's also a Prussian left here. So we'll get the zone cap, and then that'll give us a good solid win on points here if people start dying. Yeah, Prusen's got, a little less than half health left. Right, so we got a decent shot on him, so we'll take this here. See what we get out of that. Yep, good chunk there. Can't complain, can't complain. And then, yep, we're going to win on points there. So we'll go through the leaderboard for this one, and I'll go through kind of my opinions on the build and stuff. So I did not get the sort of commander that's supposed to, that they kind of want you to pair with it, right? Second place there again, too. So I'm using the other Blue Archive commander that works probably a little bit better with the regular French cruiser line instead of this heavy one. But yeah, so using, yeah, I'm gonna I take a peek at my stats here. After this game, I had played a couple more games after this, right? But we're 3 for two wins, 1 loss, right? So we're doing okay with it, right? And it's just because like you gotta do it right? You gotta know the way to, at least my opinion, I guess, right, is going out wide, using the ship's speed and creating havoc on the flanks is kind of what worked for me. But you get reload time from her, and then I was kind of trying to build into the AP shells. I think that I switched this, I think I ended up switching, who's that, Yamamoto, right? The AP pen multiplier. I think I ended up switching him out for, like, Norman Scott, because I was just getting so sick of the, like, accuracy. And then Focus Fire, you don't want to use this perk because you don't get reload boosters, so pick one of these other two if you do decide to use her. But that's what she's kind of a little bit more focused on. She makes a little more sense for the other cruiser line because, I mean, she'll work for this regular tech tree too for these ships because I think some of them get reload booster. But yeah, like it's so I don't really know that. I'm gonna take a look at the other commander, right? So she's meant to be paired with which one is it? Yeah, this middle one here, this one, right? So I'll take a peek at her. I don't think that, she's got this, ricochet, better ricochet angles for incoming shells, right? So you're going to more likely to get more bounces is her base trait. Don't care too much about that. And then she's got a lot of like typical stuff. I'd probably pick beyond range, probably pick punch through here. And then she's got this asymptote perk, which is shell damage per 1% HP lost, right? So, and then a little bit better reload time, right? So I didn't think that like she was anything crazy, so I was okay with not getting her from crates, But yeah, so that's what kind of the game is trying to tell you, put that commander with that ship. But I don't know, I think even the free-to-play commanders, I think I'd probably prefer over her, right? So I was using the other already existing Blue Archive commanders. I had her upgraded. I don't think I need the new one, right? But these ships definitely look cool. I'll give it that. I do like the styling that they've gone with on some of these. They do also kind of like, make you stick out on the battlefield. People know you probably paid for the ship. So sometimes I think people pick on you. But yeah, it's a good ship. It's definitely a good ship. It's just not my playstyle, right? So if you like the regular, right, if you like this tech tree for the French cruisers, right, the French heavy cruisers, then you'll definitely like this ship, right? So if you do well with those, you'll do well with this for sure. But that's going to be our video for the day, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Keep an eye out for me on live stream. We'll see you next time.